Games are ranked by play score, a standard rating that averages gamer reviews and critic reviews. At number 10 is Arizona Sunshine. Be a badass zombie killer in this virtual reality game that puts your deepest zombie fantasies in the forefront. Survive in a post-apocalyptic Arizona filled with bloodthirsty undeads. Find solace as you receive a distress call from a radio. But before you act on it, arm yourself in its wide range of weapons. With a VR in place, use its movement-based weapon tracking to shoot these vile creatures to their doom. Explore its sun-soaked world, loot items, and experience the thrill of the infestation like never before. Hey, if you feel lonely, better grab a friend in its co-op mode. Arizona Sunshine is among the finest VR games released to date. The story mode alone may be enough to justify its price. And yes, the main complaint is with the game's price. It has a play score of a 7.9. Ninth on the list is Redout. Inspired by the vertigo-inducing racing games such as Wipeout, F-Zero, and more, strap in your seatbelts and prepare for a fast and frenetic ride across the game's rich variety of tracks, cars, and power-ups. Set in a world where humanity has advanced in civilizations and interstellar travel, experience an arcade racer like never before. Powered by the powerful Unreal Engine 4, beat your friends in competitive multiplayer, or simply progress through the game's extensive career mode that spans with over 100 levels and realistic handling. It's one of VR's fastest racing games to date, and it kind of reminds us of pod racing. Redout has a play score of a 7.98. Rank number 8 is Job Simulator. With a growing popularity of virtual reality, we're going to expect more games to de-stress ourselves from the burden of real-life responsibilities. This is where Alchemy Games excels at. The joy of doing basically stupid things to your not-so-ordinary job is enjoyable enough. Do you want to throw a stapler at your robot boss? Cook a hot dog filled with hot sauce? Or I don't know, just mess things up? It's all up to you. The developers really studied how the tracking movements work, making you feel like you're really controlling the player. It's one of the finest VR launches from the HTC and Oculus, and it's kind of a game that puts our job hatred to the test. Job Simulator has a play score of a flat 8. In 7th place is Headmaster. Once again, the latest virtual reality games might not necessarily put something realistic to the test as of the moment. Instead, they give us a game that throws our football fantasies into something different and really odd. Re-educate yourselves in the Football Improvement Center in this game that doesn't really take football very seriously. It's a fun and somewhat stupid game to check your VR's head tracking. The goal of the game is simple. Use your head to score goals and obtain the highest score among all of your friends. Don't ask why, just ask why not. Use your head! This is a surprise hit. It's not the cool sports VR game that we've been waiting for, but it's something unique. It's a completely unique experience that may be a worthy addition to your VR games library. This PlayStation VR exclusive has a play score of an 8.07. 6 is Tethered. This game puts you in the hands of a spirit guardian set in a land full of creatures called peeps. Play like a god and guide these little critters to their salvation and not for doom. Replenish its beautiful interconnected islands and nurture the world you are bound to protect. The game's core feature lies in its tethering system, hence the game's title. Just like any strategy-driven game, this is your ability to control these inhabitants to harvest, build, and survive in its seamless day and night cycle. At nightfall, terrifying creatures lurk the night, and it's up to you to help them through any means necessary. Worry you not, for at the break of dawn, the game will return to its vibrant atmosphere. With the PlayStation VR's depth, this is a brilliant experience for young and old players. Prepare by day, survive by night. It has a play score of an 8.24. 5th in this ranking is Werewolves Within. This makes game night all the more fun. Ubisoft's take on virtual reality gives us the digital freedom to silently judge our friends in a fast-paced hidden role game. Set in medieval times, a werewolf is hiding and terrorizing the village. Among these 5 or 8 characters lies a deeper mystery that craves for blood. Who could it be? Of course, that's where the roles come in. You will be assigned with a specific villager to portray in accordance to the game's rulebook. Once decided, the main goal of this game is to play by your character and find out the mystery hidden behind the other villagers. Who among you are the villagers? And who is the real werewolf? In whatever VR you choose, you will be pitted in a constant battle of deduction and personal judgment. Can you crack the code before someone snaps? It has a play score of an 8.29. Number 4 is Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. Virtual reality is a good playground for fun party games. This one takes it to the extreme. Some say it ruins friendships, strengthens bonds, or enhances communication. But how can someone do that when you need to keep talking? The game's main premise is simple. One player is trapped in a room with a randomly generated time bomb. The other players are in a separate room with a manual necessary to defuse it. But here's the crazy thing, they can't see the bomb. Of course, communication is key. Anyone can play this game, and it's not always necessary to play it on the VR. But the feeling of sweat and tension from the other voice channel makes for a very thrilling experience. The game receives positive acclaim due to its innovation, and it makes for a good social experience. It has a play score of an 8.48 on the Oculus and the HTC. Third in the ranking is Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. Capcom's impressive return to the decaying franchise gives its first master-crafted game in a long time. Experience the terrors of survival horror once more as the game goes back to its roots. They're not kidding, it's absolutely scary as hell. Play as Ethan Winters, your regular man who stumbles himself in the Baker residence to find his missing wife. Things go haywire as you find out the inhabitants are crazy. Utilize the PSVR's gear and immerse into the game's atmospheric nature and a whole new first-person perspective. From the gloomy music, creepy hallways, and creaking floors, oh boy, a critical acclaim since its release, Resident Evil is back. Better pack up your extra diapers because this game gladly welcomes you into the family's madhouse. It receives a play score of an 8.67. Second is Thumper. Music fanatics will be happy in Jules' oddly satisfying rhythm game. Coining the term rhythm violence, be a space beetle in the voyage through the colorful void of the expanse. Face off with a mysterious entity before you and time your thumping as you engage in an upbeat battle of intense musical brutality. This game won so many awards and received universal acclaim due to its unique gameplay, a darker atmosphere compared to the rhythm games, and of course, the soundtrack. Playing the game on the VR is optional unless you want to put yourself deep into its flashy atmosphere. But compared to most rhythm games, Thumper is a completely different beast when played on the VR. Thumper has a play score of an 8.77. And here are the runners-up before we reveal the number 1. Batman Arkham VR. Rocksteady's award-winning Arkham franchise finally decides to put you into the shoes or the cowl of the Cape Crusader. Step into the world of Gotham once more and experience it like never before. Use his powerful gadgets and solve a mystery that could change the course of Batman's life. It has a play score of a 7.89. Bound. A game that feels more like a performance art than a video game. Nevertheless, it's a wonderful platformer that dazzles with graceful movements, responsive controls, and a living, breathing world to bind into. It has a play score of a 7.89. Wayward Sky. A charming point-and-click adventure game that takes VR into its artistic form. Use gesture-based movements and get your heart soothed by its immersive ambiance. It has a play score of a 7.88. The Solus Project. Another exploration game powered by the Unreal Engine 4. Survive your way into a hostile foreign planet and solve the looming mystery that lies in it. But be careful, your main character is the last living hope since Earth's downfall. Whew, talk about pressure. It has a play score of a 7.51. Elite Dangerous. A massively multiplayer space exploration game. If No Man's Sky was done right, this could have been it. But that's not the case, right? So you voyage through the great beyond and get ready to encounter foreign entities, engage in space battles, and take virtual reality to its full potential. It has a play score of a 7.30. You can get these games by clicking the first link in the description box below. And the best virtual reality game so far is Res Infinite, a remake of the classic 2001 rail shooter that fills your screen with pulsating geometric shapes and digital lights. Take control of your avatar as he floats into the vastness of a super network to shoot foes. Each time you hit the targets, the game inputs a rhythmic sound that creates a form of synesthesia. Sure, it could be played without the VR, but if you want to experience the infinite glory of Res Infinite, then you better put on your PSVR. Critics praise its exhilarating gameplay, its beautiful soundtrack, and its glorious revisiting of one of PlayStation's cult classics. Res Infinite easily tops the best VR game on our list with a play score of an 8.87. And a big thank you to these awesome contributors from all over the world who helped us translate our videos to their respective languages. If you want to take part in the growth of our What to Play community, please translate your favorite What to Play videos to your language. Simply click that More button below and select Add Translations. Thanks again! We publish 4 gaming videos every week, so don't miss any of them. Click that bell button beside subscribe, check the send me box, and save. Don't forget to like and share this video to your friends. To receive the latest player and gaming updates, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Google+.